It is 11:34. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mari Makwan. Women's Month, we are celebrating phenomenal women, and one such woman is Don Marcobella, who is a certified personal development coach, training facilitator, featured coach on Radio Pulpit, and soon to be published author for a book on personal development titled How to Discover the King Inside of You. She's joining me to share her journey with us. Good morning, Dawn.
Good morning to you, Marianne, and all the listeners. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me and taking the time out on this day. It's no longer a public holiday, it's a working day. So, yeah, thank you for joining me. Right, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Don Marcobella? What makes you you?
Don Makhubela is a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of two. I've attended few interviews where they say, "Please don't you dare start telling us that you're a mother." But I think out of all the roles that one can hold, being a mother is one of the best for me. I'm a mother. I'm a certified coach with MHI Leadership and Governance School. I'm an assessor with ETDP CETA and Services CETA. I'm a training facilitator, currently working as a business advisor for TechnoServe. I've done quite a few of consulting works with different companies in over the years. That's just me in just a brief.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's great that you mentioned that you are a mother because although some people like to make it seem as though it's not something worth celebrating or worth mentioning, it is. I mean, it's part of what makes you a woman, it's part of what makes you you. And yeah, it's part of what makes you tired as well. We are mothers,
Exactly.
and we have to let people know that when you don't see me at my best, sometimes it's because I'm dealing with the little monsters at home. But
Yes.
now, you've definitely come a long way and achieved a lot in your career and in your life. When did it all start?
It all started just after 1998 when the affirmative action legislation, was got to be implemented in South Africa. That's where all started when Black, especially women, were given an opportunity to do certain jobs. So I was like, one of the second groups, we were in the second group of three women. It was the three of us. I remember at the time I was 23 years old. I started working for Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Municipality under the bus company as a bus driver. Every time when I mentioned that, people like would look at me like, "Wow, Don, did you really drove buses?" Yes, I started. That was my very, very first professional work as a bus driver. After the women were given an opportunity to do equal work as men. So it's all started there, but it never went very far. I did not drive buses. I think like I drove buses about 7 months, and then there was a vacant post in the same company, a bus company, they were looking for a senior typist clerk. So I applied for that position. I got interviewed and I was accepted for the role. So I worked as a senior typist. Not only did it end there, I grew within the company. At some point, I worked as a executive secretary for the MD of the bus company, and then I worked again within the operations within the buses as a secretary again for the operations department. You know, that's where New Dawn Consulting was actually born, because for me, I got an opportunity to interact with different stakeholders. You know, I would attend your EXCO meetings, I will take minutes there, I will attend your passenger committee meetings, I would sit on board of directors meetings. So as a person, as an individual, you know, me being me, coming from Soweto, Zola to be, you know, specific. So I didn't have much of a background when it comes to the corporate world on how to carry myself, especially around those dignitaries. So that's when New Dawn Consulting was born. I started learning so much about personal development or personal brand coaching. I started wanting to dive and understand, because I wanted to build a brand. I had this deep desire of wanting to create an identity for myself within the business as an individual as well. So I wanted to develop myself so much. So that's when New Dawn was born. You know, upon continuing to do those researches, there were people around me that I considered to be role models. So I would look at those people, I would look at them, how they carry themselves in the meetings, how they spoke, how they were doing things. So, but I got to learn that there is so much within this subject. Not only are you a brand, but you need to actually self-manage yourself as a person. So that's when personal effectiveness came in for me. So that's how all started. And then I opened my company. I started with friends, especially at work. I started teaching them what I have learned when it comes to personal effectiveness, on how to manage yourself. I started to teach them on personal mastery. You know, I started helping them out in terms of confidence building, because that was one another thing that was an issue for me. Growing up, my background and where I came from, I wasn't, you know, your very bubbly girl. I wasn't that, you know, I lacked self-confidence, and I wanted it so much. Every time when I would come across a person that was able to articulate themselves very well, a person that can, you know, speak of themselves so well without fear, I wished, you know, I would go to my corner and said, I wish I could speak like her. I wish I could express myself like her. So I started learning those techniques. I started learning those skills. So I felt a need to even share with other people, because I've realized that even confidence itself can limit one from getting opportunities. You know, I've recently learned that people don't only employ you because of your articulates or your degrees, your certificates, but people employ the person that you are, your attitude, the way you carry yourself, the way you live with people. So I needed to learn that, your interpersonal skills. So that's when New Dawn was born.
Wow, beautiful. Solo obedience, Makhubela says, so proud of you, my wife.
Oh,
Well,
Fabi.
and Coach Stelo says, a nice one, beautiful stuff, Cici. Really loving this year. Thank you
Oh,
for your comments over there. Now, you know, when you mentioned earlier that you started off as a bus driver,
yes.
and people were surprised. They were shocked that, hey, you're a woman and you're driving a bus. And I think people are still shocked in this day and age when they see women driving buses, driving trucks, driving trains, driving taxis, even as as of late it has been taxes. And there's really nothing limiting us or nothing stopping us from being in that position as well. It's there, and we can take advantage of it, no matter what people say, or they will be surprised. It will always be there, but we can take up such spaces. Now, talk to us about some of the challenges or obstacles that you've had to overcome in your journey.
Being a young black female, it's a package on its own. So that was one of the other challenges that I faced. I constantly had to work extra hard to prove myself that I can, to prove to my male counterparts, especially when I was a bus driver. I needed to prove to them that I can the very same work or the very same strength they possess as male. It's the very same strength I have. I have the capabilities of doing what they can do as well. So it has always been wanting to prove or wanting to drive the narrative of we can do anything as well as women. So even in opening a company, getting clients has always been an issue, because now this is the subject is one thing that I shouldn't be paying for. And yet, people go out there and pay for your project management certificates. But why don't you find it easy for you to be able to pay for a mentorship program? Mentorship program. So those are the challenges that we still need to overcome. That, mentorship is everything. As much as you breathing, as much as you live your daily lives, you also need a mentor in your life. You also need that one particular person that is going to hold you by hand and say, this is how things are done. If you are able to pay for certain courses, why don't you pay for, your soft skills? Being developed in your communication skills. So those are the challenges that we're still facing even today. Even proving yourself that you're worthy of this as a coach, as a certified coach, you are able to do this. And constantly you have to take out your CV to show people that this is what I have achieved. This is the people that I've assisted in my journey as a coach. So constantly proving yourself has just been an obstacle in everything that one does.
And I think as women also, we have to constantly be proving ourselves. We have to always keep our CVs in our back pocket or in our purses and then just pull them out all the time and say, look, I am competent. I can do this. So it's
Yes.
all right, Dawn, let us take a quick break and we will continue thereafter. Please stay with us.
Thank you so much.
Coin, an alternative to the Kruger Rand. The Zahab coin, a solid wealth protector in its purest form of 24-karat gold, is the safest way to protect your wealth. So don't just sit there and watch your paper money depreciate. Change to gold. Call Randery Jewelers now at 031 202 4701 or visit www.rjcoin.co.za, situated at 151 Essenwood Road, Musgrave, Durban. Randery Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Approximately 785 million people in this world do not have access to safe, clean water. In developing countries, around 80% of all illnesses are due to contaminated water and poor sanitation. Don't let dirty water end a life. Build a water well in Bangladesh, Malawi, Nepal, Zimbabwe, or here at home in South Africa. Donate to Penny Appeal's Thirst Relief Project to bring safe, clean water to communities around the world. www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
It's a new beginning. It's a new era. Salam Media, humanitarian journalism.
It is 11:50. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media, and we are celebrating phenomenal women during this Women's Month. My hit list for today is Consulting, Don Marcobella. Don, thank you for staying on the line. Now, as a personal development coach, what are some mistakes that most of us tend to make?
One that comes to mind in particular is to overlook this one skill. You know, it's a soft skill, communication skills. I tend to tell people in all my classes or in the group coach sessions that I do that is one thing that can make you or break you. Lack of communication skills, because I've seen many relationships breaking down because of lack of communication skills. I myself, I cannot say I'm an expert in that field, but I've learned in over the years that how you communicate and how you convey the message has so much power, into you getting whatever it is that you're looking for. We can say, if we can go to maybe, let's say, to the courts where people are divorcing and so forth, and you sit there and you get the stats of what actually has gone wrong, you'll find that is the lack of communication skills. Because communication skills, it is not only about you listening in order to respond, but it's listening and processing the information before you respond. So many of us, the mistake that we do, we listen to quickly respond. A minute a person is saying something, you are not processing the information that a person is giving to you, but you are actually waiting, or not even waiting for the person to finish, but all that you want to do is quickly respond. And that's one mistake that we are doing as people. Another one would be maintaining interpersonal relationships. I always say to people, opportunities are not the tangible things that you're getting from people, but opportunities are people. So relationships with people is very important. Relationships with people. One a person once said, people are ladders. For us to climb the ladders, even in our workspace, you need that one person that would sit in that meeting and be able to speak on your behalf, even when you're not there. That's an opportunity. So maintaining interpersonal relationships, it's very important. And that's one big aspect when it comes to personal development. When you're constantly developing yourself, make sure that you build lasting, fruitful relationships with people. Because for me to be here, somebody had to say to you, there's this woman that I know that is doing this kind of job. So relationships with people. So those are the mistakes that we do as people. We often overlook and we fail to maintain the relationships. And again, there is a boundary, because one another thing that I have learned, even in maintaining relationships, people tend to think that you overcompensating on your relationships, or you either sucking up to people. And the true sense of it all is that you want to keep a healthy relationship with this person, even when you go separate ways in terms of your businesses or your career. You know how you have touched that person, how you have impacted that person has a long lasting effect. So maintaining relationships and working on our communication skills, very vital things to look into, especially even as females, as women. That's one thing that we are lacking so much in. We frustrate our husband. My husband can tell you, I hope he won't even say that. This one, I used to quickly assume that I know everything that he wants to say to me. And that's not a good way of communicating. The minute he opens his mouth, I have responded without even him finishing the sentence. So I got to learn from my husband to keep quiet. That's one skill that I have learned from him, to say, keep quiet, even if you think you know what I'm about to say, but give me an opportunity to finish the sentence. So communication skills, very vital. Relationships, maintaining them, working on them, nurturing them, very important.
Yeah, very important points that you've just raised there. I know many of us tend to burn the bridges thinking that we're not going to need the help along the way. And a few years down the line, it turns out that, hey, we do actually need the assistance of the person that we decided not to talk to or hold a grudge on for whatever reason. Rain Child says, brilliant interview, Coach Dawn. What an interesting journey, my friend. Thank you for your comment over there. An awesome Sister D, loving it, by Tubelo Dichabe. And the comments just keep coming in. Yes, please continue sending us your comments. Leave them in the comment section below, or you can send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 7660355. Dawn, it seems like you have changed and really touched people's lives. And like you mentioned, the relationships that you have built along the way has led you to our platform, and to give you a chance to chat to us, to chat to me, and to our listeners as well. So where to from here for Don Makhubela and New Dawn Consulting?
You know what? Every time when this question is asked, and I tell people that there is no retirement for me, there's no retirement. Every child is born every day. And I was talking this morning with Dumelody Chabe. Thank you so much, my friend. We're talking about this, that, the world needs a lot of us. They need people like us that will do even the littlest things, into changing one's life. For instance, I will tell you this, seeing that girl from, let's say, I'm doing this because I needed me when I was much younger. I didn't have me. I didn't have Dawn. I didn't have your coach Stelo. I didn't have your rain child in my life. I didn't have, the Mbusos that I have in my life. I didn't have Dumelodi Chabe that I have in my life. Those are the people that constantly add value into my life and reminding me that you are on the right path. So I think every young boy or every young girl out there needs that one person. I'm so excited about my book because I believe in each and every one of us, there's a king that lives within us, but you just need to realize that king, for you, for that king to function in your life, because we all have talents, we all have gifts, but you just need that one person that is going to remind you or channel it in the right way. So there is no retirement for New Dawn. I think even if I have people that I mentor, one of them, which is my daughter, to say, everywhere that you go, I'm happy because she's doing teaching as well. So to say, people need people. This one person, a girl needs a girl. A boy needs a man, to show them the right path, to channel, because we grow up, we have things that we aspire to be, we have things that we wish for in life, but with the right direction, we wanting not to achieve those goals. So there is no retirement for us. Constant training. And I always tell people that personal development is a major time saver. Once you develop yourself, you don't have to come into the boardroom and say much words. People would know. Other people would speak on your behalf because you have developed yourself so much. You have worked on yourself so much, learning that new skill, learning to maintain that relationship, learning to communicate effectively, learning to express yourself and build yourself as a brand as well, to say, this is who I want to be. This is the person that I want people to take me as out there in the world. So there is no retirement for me. There's so much work to do. I think even at my 60s, you'll still see me on interviews. You'll still see me doing the work that I want to do, because people really need people that would push them into the right direction. And I'm so grateful even for this platform that I have at TechnoServe, currently working as a business advisor, where we in-house, about 80 entrepreneurs from your Eastern Cape, your Western Cape, your Gauteng, and in KwaZulu-Natal, where we run an incubation program for fashion designers, all over this place. So even that, it fulfills me. Doing that as well fulfills me. And one of the other things that I have done, which was a YIP program, which is youth empowerment through entrepreneurship. So those are the things that I aspire to do each and every day. There's one thing now, our country, people are not working, our youth are not working. So with New Dawn, we teach people that you use whatever that you have at your disposal. You don't have to wake up in the morning, take a taxi to Rosebank for you to feel that you're making an impact in your life. Use whatever that you have, the skills that you have. That mama in the corner that you see selling tomatoes, that is so important. And that is one information or thing that we need to drive even with our youth, to say, that little money that you're getting from your parents, use that, save that, and start a business, start a small business that can, result into a big thing. Go around, do your research.
Dawn, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut you over there due to time, but please, how can people find you on your social media platforms and contact details as well?
Thank you so much. I can talk for the whole day. Thank you so much. That is passion for me right there. But I'm on social networks. I'm big on Instagram. I'm big on Facebook. New Dawn Consulting. We're currently working on our website. So I'm reachable even on my cell phone numbers, which is 078-629-8646. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your journey with us. And I wish you well in your future endeavors. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, that was Don Marcobella, the founder of New Dawn Consulting. She's also a certified personal development coach, training facilitator, featured coach on Radio Pulpit and soon to be published author for the book titled How to Discover the King Inside of You. You can look out for her book when it comes out soon. Find her on social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook, Don Marcobella. You are listening to the Mid-Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mari Mukwanda. We will be right back.